So, good morning, good night, good evening, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. Today, I'm joined by the band From Sheep to Wolves. They're an alternative rock band from Malta, and we have two members from the band. We have Carlo Cranmer, the vocals and guitar, and Carl Casar, the bass player. So they're three people, but we have two people from the band. So first of all, how are you guys tonight?
We're good, bro. We're good. You all right?
I'm doing good. So, yes, I got the promo for this album, and I'm because I listened to online. This is the band's first album, correct?
First studio album, yeah.
First studio album. So, from Sheep to Wolves, you guys do a lot of mixture of like there's alternative, there's rock, but there's also electronic elements to your music. So, for people that haven't listened to the band, tell us a little bit about the brief history of the band.
Um, geez, it's actually quite hard to make it brief. But so I've been dabbling in a lot of projects in my life, and uh, basically nothing seemed to work out, or I keep shifting from one project to the other. And eventually, we met through mutual friends and musicians. Um, to keep the long story short, we had some friends who managed to help us jump back in the music scene because I had stopped for about a year, I think. Um, and it was John, wasn't it? Yeah. And John Castiel, who was one of the founders of the band, put me back. Sorry about the screaming. I've got three kids, so.
Oh, that's okay.
Um, so John Castiel actually managed to get us involved in a couple of projects because he had his own band. And when I stopped all my projects, he decided to help me out, and we founded From Sheep to Wolves because I was still writing songs, but I just couldn't be bothered to set a band. And then,
Which year was it?
oh, fuck you know. Sorry about language. Are we okay with language here?
You can swear as much as you fucking want.
Fucking face. All right, there we go. So that's much better. So yeah. So I think it was 2015 when I wrote one of the first songs, which is a bonus track on that album. And then I featured John as a singer with that album. However, eventually he wanted the album to go further, so he jumped on drums, even though he's not a drummer because he's a singer. He jumped on drums, and he done a pretty awesome fucking job. I tell you what. He's fantastic on marketing, so he got the band up and running, got our first gigs, got everything sorted. We had a couple of sessionists, fabulous people, working on the album and helping us out. And then eventually through the drummer, yeah, I think.
Through Julio, yes.
Yeah.
Through Julio. Because I think at that point, I think Claudio, the session bass player,
No, he didn't. I don't think he stopped. I think we just had dates.
Yeah, okay.
Like he was.
But I think you were looking for a permanent bass player.
Yeah. So it makes things easier, obviously. But yeah, that's where we're at so far. Just a big fucking mess that led to this, and a lot of mental issues.
Yeah. The album, I like it a lot because I like that those like alternative rock, but it's hard alternative. I was reminded, I don't the vocals for you, Carlo. It reminded me of an Australian band that I like called Dead Letter Circus. like I don't know if you listen to them, but I got reminded of that, like in the type of vocals.
I literally started listening to them last fucking week, bro. I didn't even know they're Australian, but they're amazing. I found out that they exist like last week. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I've been talking everyone's ears off about this band because they're really, really good. So really appreciate that comparison. I'll tell you what. So
Not saying that it sounds completely, but it has like that style where it's alternative, but there's some hard riffing, but there's some melodic singing. So yeah, so yeah, the album it's called Ephemeris, which actually means it means journal. It means
sure.
journal in your language, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's actually in English. Basically, our late guitarist, our one of the first guitarists who had joined the band, used to dabble in a lot of like soundtrack style, very atmospheric music. And when he joined the band, he started showcasing his stuff to us to see what we could use. And he had this beautiful melody in this like very trippy in this very trippy track. And that's the one we started with. Obviously, due to me being a dickhead, basically, we lost the guitarist. So we wanted to showcase the ability and capability that he had with appreciation towards his amazing guitar playing and songwriting. And then obviously the other songs kind of evolved either before we wrote that song or afterwards. But the concept of Ephemeris, which is one of the tracks on the album,
The first track, yeah.
Yeah, it comes from mainly from our ex-guitarist. He was the mastermind behind it. So cheers to you, Luke.
Nice. So what I know you have a few music videos for this. There's the music video for Submission, and you have for Rejection and Hollow. So tell us a little bit about the the themes that you cover in this record, because it seems like every like song could be like a entry in a journal.
Well, I think the album realistically was written with the concept of how we feel on that specific time frame when we were writing that song. Like, for example, Acceptance, I think, is one of the oldest songs that I had written. And then obviously Carl jumped on bass. We had other people messing around with it, and it evolved into what it is now. But all the songs were written with an individual mentality of how we feel at that moment when we're writing the song. And then we compiled everything because the emotional state of a human being is a concept in itself. So it's very easy to then merge the idea into an album for us. But they were all written as singles, technically speaking. It's the piecing of the tracks came afterwards.
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like it's like telling a story, but like every song can be listened to individually. In this record, like what was probably the song that maybe was the hardest to write lyrically or musically?
There were two actually. Reminiscent, which is basically about my childhood, which was beautiful. It's not a negative song. It's literally just hard to go back into childhood memories. And Rejection, because it's a song about all the people who are creative. They tend to suffer from this issue of being surrounded by someone who tells them, you know what, you're wasting your time. Don't invest in this. Like, go to work, do the 9 to 5, have a boring life and fucking die. And it's it's horrible, to be honest. So rejection was a highlight towards the artists and anyone who's creative to not give up on their dreams. But it also emulates the emotion that people make you feel when they shit all over your ideas, basically. So yeah, those two were the hardest, I think. What about you?
I don't know. I think I probably, not lyrically, of course, in my case, but I think musically the one we struggled with the most was probably Denial, the last one, the last track. I mean, we had like a version of it. I think it was quite old, no? Like this.
Yeah, well, not as old as the others, but it had its.
But the fact that I think we finished it last kind of.
I think
that my point. I think that was the hardest one to kind of.
Yeah, the last song we kept on wavering in and out of it because we weren't happy with it. So it depends. If your question is from an emotional perspective, this guy hasn't got anything. But
no, for him would be, if he didn't write the lyrics, it would be through the musical side of it.
Yeah, exactly. From the musical side, I think I'll have to agree with him. It's Denial. It was a pain in the ass, and then he came up with this kick-ass riff at the end, which gave the song life, I think.
Yeah,
I think we changed a bit the vocals on it as well.
He pissed me off a lot. He was like, "Oh, why don't you try, falsetto?" And it's like, "No, man, I'm not Justin Timberlake." But eventually he got to me, and I think it worked out quite well.
I think now it's one of our probably. I think for both of us, I think now it's one of our favorite tracks on the album.
Yeah, I think it is one of my favorite tracks. That and Hollow.
Yeah, Hollow is pretty good, and there's also a music video for Hollow. At some point, I'll post a clip so people can get a taste of what the band sounds. Because you guys are more of a not a newer band because you've been working on this, but a lot of people maybe this is discovering the band. So is there a story from the name From Sheep to Wolves?
Yeah. Basically, when we started the project with John Castiel, we were kind of fishing for a catchy name or something meaningful. The concept of having something meaningful was always first thing on the plate. And John came up with the idea I kind of highlighted the idea of getting out of the driver's seat, as we would say, and getting out of the passenger seat and jumping onto the driver's seat. So when people tend to take control of their life, open their eyes, wake up, see what's happening around you, make decent moral decisions. And after giving him these tips, he one day he just came along and he's like, yeah. And he just popped it. It's like From Sheep to Wolves. And it just fits perfectly. To be honest, I wasn't too keen about the name. And we did debate whether the band should be called Ephemeris.
We did, yeah.
At a point in time. And the first album would have been From Sheep to Wolves, but we just let it take its toll. And eventually From Sheep to Wolves just stayed.
I think From Sheep to Wolves is a better name.
There you go. Cheers to that, man.
Especially with the album, like, you go on an album that's pretty much like going through different stages of like, it's almost stages of grief because you have indifference, but it's like, why didn't you, it's funny that you put denial at the end and not acceptance at the end, because that's usually the last stage. You accept it.
That is exactly what I hadn't planned. I had planned that the emotions would go from how life works into a negative pothole, and then something brings you out into something beautiful, and then you have acceptance. That was the idea. However, everyone we spoke to and took advice from, when they heard Denial, they were like, this is the icing on the cake. This either has to be at the start of the album or at the end. We couldn't put it at the start because it would shit all over Ephemeris as a title track, which didn't make sense. So we had to put it at the end. Yeah. And apart from that, it's the only track where I had to tune the guitar. to D standard because the rest of the album's on drop C.
Yeah, and I think it's also
or acceptance.
Sorry?
Is C now the one that you have to do the different tuning?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. So I want to show the album artwork so we can talk a little bit about the artwork of the album.
Yeah.
And maybe you can tell us, like what you guys wanted from this artwork. It's a pretty simple artwork. Here's the artwork for the album. It looks like the the cup, the Holy Grail from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. But
Yeah.
so tell us a little bit about what you guys were going for with the artwork.
So basically, I done all that artwork on paint because I don't know shit when it comes to graphic design. And then I had some friends to clean it up. And eventually we found this amazing graphic designer, Etienne, who cleaned our whole album up for print, which we're working on at the moment. Yeah, the idea behind that is, you've got these images that they use in psychology, where they have multiple imagery, and then you kind of see what you see. That's the same concept. So you have the Holy Grail, which is truth, acceptance, all the emotions in the human body denied. That basically the whole album is the Holy Grail. And at the same time, you have two facing each other, two faces, which is the symbolism for indifference. So you have the concept where people are finding it hard to accept the concept of truth. That's the whole idea behind it.
Nice. So yeah, and did you say that you're currently working on your music?
We're actually working on the second album and working on releasing physical copies of Ephemeris.
Yeah, because right now it's out digitally.
It's only out digitally, and I literally just received the print, the print stuff today. So we'll forward them to the label, and they'll be able to start organizing the printing.
Okay. So for people that want to know when it's gonna be out, they can follow you best on Instagram, so they can know when they can physically want to get the Ephemeris.
Yeah, we've got Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I think those are the main ones, to be honest. I can't let him deal with Instagram. I fucking hate social media. But I kind of try to keep the TikTok updated, to be honest, mostly. But yeah.
I hate TikTok. Why? Because it's annoying as hell.
It's so easy to use. The effects on it, if you pair it with CapCut, you can do fabulous things. I've done a music video with TikTok and CapCut.
But I'm a YouTuber. I have long videos. You know what? When I started the channel, I had a TikTok for the channel because they told, I had a family member told me, oh, it will make your channel grow. But it didn't make my channel grow. So I started doing shorts on YouTube, and people would subscribe from the shorts in YouTube. So I'm like, fuck TikTok. I'll just do the shorts in YouTube. So
in your advice, you would say YouTube Shorts would be better than TikTok.
At least if you want to get people subscribed to your YouTube channel, it worked for me.
That fucking makes sense.
We have a few shorts, but not that many.
No, I actually just copied and pasted from other programs.
Yeah,
I couldn't stop to stay doing more posts and stuff, so I was like, oh look, there's this on Instagram, put it on YouTube Shorts.
there's too much stuff. I grew up in the 90s where computers were slow and analog.
They were better. Life was better.
When I was growing up, computers were for nerds. Like you, I went outside. Like computers, I had a computer to play games and stuff, but I like going outside. Right now, people I have kids too. They prefer to stay inside sometimes. I'm like, don't you want to go outside?
It's crazy. I've got 3 kids, And last time I was like, let's go out to the park, and they're like, oh, can't we stay home and just play PlayStation? Or I'm like, fucking hell! If my dad said let's go out, I would not say a word. I'll be like, yes, let's go now.
This is the thing. Since we're fathers, if we want to ground them, back in our time, grounding was go to your room. Now grounding is like go outside.
Now it's fuck about, yeah. Mine are too young so far to get to that point, but we'll get there eventually. It's just a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time. So yeah, the album, I enjoyed it. I got the promo and I saw what it was, and I'm like, let me check it out because I listen to all type of music, but there's so much death metal that I can listen to. And when I saw alternative rock, I'm like, yes, I grew up more liking alternative rock in the 90s, actually the metal. So it's in my and it has like that great singing, and for you, Carlo, like growing up or like with your vocal abilities, what was there like any band or musician that really inspired you guys?
But to be honest, my family were well into music, like from before I was born. So I grew up in a family listening to anything from Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, to Green Day, to Jim Reeves, The Shadows, The Beatles. However, my brothers were always slightly more inclined into the rock side of music. And thanks to them, obviously, I fell in love with quite a lot of bands. However, eventually I got into metal. I think I was like 9 or 10 when I started listening to Korn and Slipknot. It's like really, really dark stuff. And I loved it. And here locally, we have we have 3 places where bands in the 90s used to get together. Everyone has his own garage. It's like a massive complex with different garages. And everyone plays in their own garage. So they do rehearsals, but it was a complex and it was like a complete slum. And I think I was about 10 or 12. And my brother was in a band with my cousin. And they're like, and I had to tag along. So I kind of screwed his vibe over. So he took me to this run down building, falling apart, looks fucking horrible. I was expecting to get killed or sacrificed to the devil or something like that. And you walk in and it's just garage after garage and just bands in every garage. And some doors are open, people are drinking beer, smoking weed, having fun, talking, no violence at all. But these people look scary. And I remember as soon as my brother would be like, yeah, this is my little brother, their faces changed. They were like, oh, you're right. They'd hide the beer, they'd hide the joints, they'd hide cigarettes. They spoke to me with respect. And they welcomed me so quickly. It was phenomenal. I've never felt so welcome in my life. And then that started triggering the concept of, getting into music. And I remember my brother on a particular day heard me singing to Bon Jovi. And I was mumbling, I don't fucking know the words. You're a kid, you don't give a shit about the words, you just try to sing. And he stopped me, he stopped the music, he put me on the washing machine. He's like, I'm going to leave this room. And in 5 minutes, when I come back, you're going to tell me what Bon Jovi is singing about. I was like, yeah. I was like, that was easy. And he puts on this song, If I Was Your Mother by Bon Jovi. It is an incredible song, which I would dedicate to all mothers because it helped me realize how much sacrifices a mother does for their child and things like that. Bon Jovi's like nailed the fucking song, to be honest. And when he came back, I was crying. I was in fucking tears. And I remember he walks in and he stopped. He didn't say anything. He looked at me and then he goes, I guess now you understand the power of music. And he walks out. And that was the second trigger that that just took me into the music scene.
Nice.
Just a beautiful
And
experience.
in From Sheep to Wolves, and this is something I gotta say about the album. I like because sometimes in metal there's angry stuff, but like it's angry but it's like only that emotion. But in this album, you feel different type of emotions, and that's what I like about because I would categorize your band like heavy alternative rock. It's not like it's not like super commercial sounding like soft rock. It's heavy alternative.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would hope not.
No,
I'd be quite disappointed. I do love a bit of distortion and dancing.
distortion. I love heavy like alternative rock bands like that. Like one of my favorites. My favorite band is Deftones, but I also love Chevelle. So that is
Chevelle, I love them.
Yeah. So
I think, to be honest, if in my own style, I would listen to these kind of bands like Chevelle, Breaking Benjamin, Linkin Park, early Disturbed, all these bands, which I don't see them as metal, as in when you go into power metal or doom or the really heavy black metal and stuff. It's a niche that pulls commercial people into metal. I see it as the invitation into metal. Exactly. I know people who hate metal and they love Linkin Park, and that's like Hybrid Theory is kind of metal, bro. So yeah, I call them inviting metal.
But yeah, some people earlier they call them like gateway bands or something like that.
That's it.
The gateway.
I love that concept. I would love to keep that concept as well. However, every now and then we do like to break the rules. Like we're working on a track right now called Unchanging. And I don't think it's commercial.
Probably our heaviest one, I think.
Is it though?
I think so, yeah.
Is it heavier than Hollow? I don't know. Yeah, I think it might be the heaviest track so far.
I think so.
And this second album that you're currently working on, is this something that we can expect for next year? Because I'm guessing this year you're gonna put out this one, and then next year put out a second album.
Well, to be honest, we're because basically we record everything ourselves, and then we send them to this amazing producer in I think Spain or like some Latin place.
Spain.
And then he cleans them up for us. He does post-production, mixing, mastering, and makes it all preppy. So our idea is that we finalize. Give me 1 second. 2 seconds. So our idea is basically we are going to, again, record the whole album. We'll go from there, try to finalize it as much as we can ourselves, and then either use the same producer to clean it up for us, or it depends where it's going to go. I think from a production aspect, we should be ready in a year's time. I'm quite sure we'll be ready from our end, but then obviously we'd have to send the stuff to the studio and they have to do their shit. So
nice. But this year, probably you'll put the Ephemeris out on physical, I'm guessing, CDs for now?
Yeah, I'm still learning the terms they use. I think it's called a jewel box.
Oh, yeah, they have too much stuff, but because I know vinyl can be expensive, but yeah. So yeah, I would recommend for now, you can stream this. It's on the streaming services. You can listen to it, but follow the band so you know when it's out physically. And are you guys gonna be playing some shows soon, or like what's the rest of the year look like?
To be honest, right now we're just playing locally until we get a viable opportunity. So we have a gig. Oh my God, we have 21st of March, 28th of March. No, 9th of May. We've got quite a few dates where we're playing.
I think one thing that we're particularly looking forward to is we're competing in May, so 9th of May. We're going to be competing at
That's
back in Metal Battle in Malta. So
Oh,
we're one
nice.
of
They're
the bands.
they're having a battle here, a party in Puerto Rico too.
They do it in I think not every country, but in most countries. And then they pick a winner and they take them up to Vakin.
And I think as far as I know, I think in Malta it's the second time this is running.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we're very lucky to be part of it this year.
Nice.
And yeah, I
Best
don't
of
know.
luck
Maybe
for-
we'll get to play Vakin, but
Maybe.
we'll see.
Best of luck on that, so you guys can play the Wacken Air Festival. So I want to thank the both of you, for taking some time to chat with me from Malta here to Puerto Rico. So Couchers, from Sheep to Wolves, Ephemeris is out now digitally, but soon physically, and I'll put the link so people want to follow the band. So before I let you guys go to the anything you'd like to say to the Couchers before we go?
Yeah, we might be shitting when it comes to interviews, but we do update our Facebook every now and then, so they can look into that for dates and gigs.
Perfect.
And maybe eventually we'll do our shorts as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the shorts help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Couchers, you heard it here. So if you like the types of bands that we've been discussing, check this band out. It's a newer band. I dig it. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.